Imagine a movie where a medieval wizard gets beamed up to a UFO, steals a ball, and a group of royal guards accidentally invent football. Yeah, that actually exists. It's called The 13th Fiancee of the Prince, and it's one of those movies that every Bulgarian kid has seen on TV on a Sunday afternoon. The movie came out in 1987, and it's a unique genre mixer that combines fairy tale with science fiction. But the reason The 13th Fiancee of the Prince is a classic is because they got some of the funniest comedy actors together in one movie. And I know what you're thinking, Bulgaria isn't known for funny comedies. And that's true. Today. However, it was a different story in the 1980s. This movie also bridged two generations of comedians because you have the ones popular in the 60s and 70s playing the parents of those who defined the 80s and 90s. I'm also very excited to talk about this movie because if you're not Bulgarian, chances are this is the first time you're hearing about it. No pressure. The movie starts when a flying saucer accidentally crashes on Earth, which is how all fairy tales should start. On board, there are three alien teens who immediately give up on trying to leave and start watching a live stream. They have this monitor that can show them what's happening anywhere on the planet. There's the kings of these two countries who want to marry off their children, Prince Alfonso and Princess Rosalia. But the prince and princess have never met, having only seen their official royal portraits.
Пък и най-добрият художник нарисува портрета, който му изпратихме.
Най-добрият ти обезглави, татко.
Защото те беше изографисал като кикимора. Сега този е най-добрият.
And this is the 13th engagement of the prince, because all the other princesses have run away. Surprisingly, when Alfonso and Rosalia see one another for the first time in person, they like each other despite looking nothing like their royal portraits. However, their fathers are against the marriage now. This pretty boy says that the princess is very ugly, and this fit bro calls the prince fat. So we have a little bit of the pot calling the kettle black situation. Anyway, the king's advisor Aristu suggests that a local girl would make Alfonso forget about Rosalia, so the guards find and kidnap Elena, a peasant girl who's in love with a dude named Buyan. Buyan chases after the guards, but then he's attacked by a thief named Pero. However, Pero turns out to be a nice guy and not very good at being a thief, so instead he tells Buyan where the guards took Elena, and even gives him his sword. Back at the castle, Alfonso and Rosalia plot to run away together. Rosalia manages to get her father on board, and their plan is to pretend to kidnap Alfonso and then go back to their country. Meanwhile, the other king orders the royal wizard Rudolf to make a magic potion so that Elena falls in love with Alfonso. By the way, Rudolf is my favorite character. He used to work in the stables before becoming the royal wizard, despite not knowing any spells. And the advisor Aristu constantly tries to set him up because he stole his girl, Lady Lay. On the way to the castle, Buyan comes across the flying saucer and meets the aliens.
Изплаши ме, заек такъв.
I love how Buyan takes one look at this guy and he's like, "You're no threat. I'm not afraid of your mustache." The kid tells him that they took his friend's dad's spaceship for a ride, but now they can't get it free. And Buyan is like, "Hold my beer."
Давай, Рам!
Wait, so the ship can travel through space, but it can't get out of dirt? I guess the roads in Bulgaria are that bad. But then Buyan sees on the alien monitor that Elena is being held prisoner, so he asks for help saving her. The onboard computer reminds them that they're not allowed to interfere with less developed planets, kind of like the Prime Directive on Star Trek. Oh, so when Buyan helped you, that was okay. But now that my boy needs help, it's against the rules? But they take pity on Buyan. After all, he did help them unstuck the ship, so they teleport him to the castle. However, doing that depletes their energy and they can't fly away now. Buyan comes across Alfonso, who also decides to help him because he's not interested in Elena. And this is just how awesome Buyan is. Everyone he meets helps him, no questions asked. He faces no obstacles, just right this way, sir. Alfonso gives Buyan clothes that will help him pass the guards unnoticed. However, the other guards mistake Buyan for the prince and kidnap him instead. But I guess it's fine, because Rosalia takes one look at him and naturally falls head over heels.
Alfonso.
Buyan съм.
Ама този е хубав, бе, татко.
Розалия! Още не знаем какво му е царството.
Аз love you.
Моля?
Обичам те.
Аз обичам Елена.
Татко?
Води го!
Айде!
Ами... Сега...
Back in the castle, Alfonso sees that Rosalia is gone and declares war on the other kingdom. Also, the potion that was supposed to make Elena fall in love with Alfonso didn't work, so the king orders Rudolf to be executed.
Няма милост! Тя не ме иска!
Къде си, скъпи?
Искам и аз годеница. Искам и аз годеница.
That's right. The robot just teleported the wizard to the spaceship and told him to give him a fiancée. In communist Bulgaria, AI prompts you. Meanwhile, the thief Pero frees Buyan and kidnaps Rosalia. As Buyan is going back to the castle, this happens. Apparently, he took a lot of stuff from the flying saucer that are actually just things from the present that the movie was made in. Which is great for Rudolf, because in that world magic doesn't exist. So he starts performing illusions, fooling everyone that he knows magic. I love how the aliens have spaceships and teleporters, but they still ride bikes occasionally. Also, is that all he can take from an advanced alien civilization? Can I have a lightsaber?
No,
Can I have some cool sci-fi gadget?
no,
Can I have you?
no. You can have a Pink Panther plush doll.
Buyan finally rescues Elena, while Pero and Rosalia fall in love with each other, which is kind of sweet. However, when the king finds out that Elena is gone, he again orders Rudolf to be executed. This time, the robot teleports Elena back inside the castle to save the wizard.
Елена! Елена!
Okay, at this point they're just messing with Buyan. Imagine you're rescuing the girl, and then some R2D2 knockoff beams her away. But Elena still doesn't want to marry Alfonso, which upsets the king. He tries to confiscate the bike as punishment. However, when Buyan and Elena were running away earlier, they stole the bike and left the donkey in its place. Therefore, Aristu, the king's advisor, naturally assumes that Rudolf turned the bike into a donkey.
Омадьосал е държавния велосипед в най-обикновено частно магаре.
By the way, this joke is very outdated now, because the movie is from the socialist era, when private property was frowned upon. But I find it hilarious that it's used in a fairy tale scenario. Rudolf says that he didn't do this, but the king gives him until dawn to turn the donkey back into a bicycle, or he'll lose his head.
Като знам, че си велосипед, що се правиш на магаре? Да се правиш на магаре, да дадеш тръни и буклуци. Хайде пак да си станеш велосипед. Хайде. Айде де.
However, later Buyan comes back with the bike and switches it with the donkey in order to sneak into the dungeon. The king thinks that Rudolph was playing tricks on him and decides to execute him anyway. Meanwhile, Buyan fights the guards in the dungeon and rescues Elena again. And he gets a little bit of help. And so, Rudolph and Buyan are about to be publicly executed. But before that, Aristo wants to know what is the purpose of this mysterious object?
За последен път те питам какво е това.
Подариха ми го. Последния момент, Ваше Величество.
Кой?
Аз фактически го откраднах. И ме беше срам да попитам.
Така. И крадеш, и лъжеш.
Но, не го докосва! Не! Оу! Амадия!
That's right. Football was invented because a wizard stole a ball from a flying saucer. Pero and Rosalia return to the castle, and while everyone is distracted by the football game, Pero rescues Buyan and Elena. Again. They also leave the donkey in her cell. Meanwhile, the other king attacks. Yeah, did they forget that Alfonso declared war? Everyone just forgot about that. But the king also gets distracted by the game and starts watching instead. By the way, this lasts for a while. They come up with a goalkeeper to stop the ball from leaving the court. The king acts as a referee with his whistle and red card. There's a penalty kick and even a commentator. Eventually they notice that the donkey is in Elena's cell. The guard lies that he saw Elena turn into a donkey. Rudolph lies that it will turn back into Elena in 3 days, and everyone's happy. Alfonso marries the donkey, and Rosalia marries Pero.
Тате, ще призная нещо, за да не ми тежи. Аз съм разбойник.
Не си само ти. На здраве. Аз мисля, че всичко се нареди добре. Хем вълкът сит, хем магарето цяло.
In the end, the aliens appear in front of Buyan and Elena, and they're probably like, guys, can you stop messing with the plot? But actually, the teens came to say goodbye. The dad of one of them is coming to pick them up. They offered Buyan and Elena to come with them to the west, to their planet. However, they decline, choosing to stay on Earth. In the end, the aliens get towed away, and Buyan and Elena just stare into the sunset, wondering, what the hell are you going to tell the rest of the village? So there you have it, the 13th Fiancee of the Prince, an absolute gem of a movie. As you can see, it has everything: action, comedy, romance, robots, castles, and football. I don't know why we haven't made more like it. The fact that the castle scenes were filmed in East Germany and that they've added special effects make it even more unique. Thank you all for watching. Please like the video and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you next time.